Hello, and welcome back. If you're still hanging out with me, I greatly appreciate it. We're still playing our 1890 Japanese campaign, The Rise of the Dragon. Well, when we last left off, we were essentially between wars. We're getting close to the period of World War One, where tensions will probably start rising in the next few years between all the various bigger powers, but we might uh, somehow avoid it. Currently, we're sitting at a fairly modest amount of modernized battleships. They're, nothing to write home about or anything, but at least we have them. These are blockade power. We have these while other great powers are probably building their real battleships and battle cruisers and whatnot. Our cruiser fleet, the light cruisers at least, are all pretty much outdated designs, and we're working on these Oi class to replace them, which will probably become pretty obsolete as well soon enough. We're in the era where in the next, maybe 3 or 4 years, uh, speed really increases quite a bit, and these 25 knot cruisers will fall behind fairly quickly, probably in favor of like 27 or 28 knot, maybe even 29 knot stuff. We're still hanging out with these 500-ton destroyers. We'll take a look. We could build up to 700 tons. We might wait one more round of research on that until they get to like 800, and then maybe look into upgrading because they're only 5 years old, and right now the tensions are low, so we're probably not going to get dragged into anything very soon. We have a whole fleet of modernized corvettes. And how many do we actually need? There's one, three, so that's four. I mean, allegedly we only need four. So having, I don't know how many this is, this looks like about 10. Having this many is probably fine. I anticipated needing more in the Southeast Asia due to the fact that we have all these colonies now, but that may change with the times. I'm not sure if it changes based off of the progression of time or how sizable your base capacity is, or maybe if it never changes. So let's jump in and see what happens. So we save the game as usual. We have a treaty there with Italy. It's not doing a whole lot for us right now. No one's really threatening us. Um, let's see. Who would we want to pick a fight with? Spain is basically done in this area. Take a look at the almanac. Our closest uh, peer adversary is basically China, but we're not too interested in fighting China unless we're just going for like reparations to boost our economy. That's not an option anyway. So let's just we'll get budget and tension. Let's just say, well, let's take a look at the almanac again. So 472 versus 500 and some. I mean, Germany is the stronger power between France and Germany. Are there any alliances that we care about? So France is allied with Great Britain, and Germany is allied with Russia. So let's just say France. Okay, we're getting torpedo technologies, which is something we always like to get. In fact, we might be one of the world leaders in torpedo technology. Not only do they have extended range and speed, but they do more damage when they hit. We do like that. So is there any doctrinal changes we need to make? Not really. Not really. We're still in the era where it's guns and torpedoes. And the better our torpedoes perform here, the better for us, because that is what we're going to be designing our fleet around in the next few years. Once we get to the point where we can mount, we're pathetically weak in armored cruisers. They are still hyping up the armored cruiser. But once we get to the point where we can mount like swivels or side-mounted torpedoes on cruisers. Sorry, I had a yawn there. Once we get to the point where we can mount those side-mounted torpedoes on cruisers, we'll just load them up and make essentially Kitakami type cruisers. Budget's looking good. We could even start building another light cruiser or two. Let's go ahead and build a couple more of these. Well, hang on. Yeah, our Osama 2s are starting to age as well, but they did just get a refit. So let's stick with building these light cruisers. We'll build two of them. It'll put us in some negatives, but we do need to bring our treasury down a little bit anyway. Well, that helps by cutting the budget. We no longer have our three-way alliance where I'm allied with Italy and Italy is allied with the US. We stole the US 12-inch guns. Do we have 12-inchers? We do on the Mikases. So what would it cost us to refit these? So it keeps the fire control. If we upgrade the guns, it takes 8 months at a deficit. We could also upgrade the secondaries, even bigger deficit. But the Mikases are like they are our main new battleship. Let's go ahead and do that. It's gonna cost us a bunch of money though. No, we can't actually afford that yet. What's more important? Upgrading those or these cruisers? We'll scrap the two cruisers we just started and we'll work on these Mikases. So we upgrade the guns. We upgrade the guns. And we'll go into a deficit for 8 months. Fairly big one. Yep, we'll take quality 0 3-inch guns. We might mount those as tertiaries on something. It's not bad. Anytime you can buy a technology, it either catches you up or puts you ahead in some way. And it just costs you some money. And if you're managing your budget fairly well, then it's not really that big of a deal. So Italy's starting to scrap. Yeah, people are scrapping some old stuff. Like we are going into a new era here, where the things that are from 1898 and probably the 1890s in general just can't compete. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy. He's below average and he's a poor ship handler. We've commissioned 5 submarines. Let's send a force to China. Yeah, we'll raise tensions a little bit, gain some prestige. And we're going to wait before we try to build modernized battleships, I think. No, we should extend our arrangement with Italy. See, this is what the current battleships look like, and I really don't like these side-mounted guns. I feel like they are a waste. 20,000 tons, 21 knots. So yeah, and it's pretty formidable. And it beats anything that we have one-on-one. But we do want to wait until we get, yep, we'll take machinery development, economizer. Getting some nice breakthroughs. Let's see here. We want, I think it's ship design. Yeah, we get superimposed, but we're waiting until we get 4 centerline main turrets. And we're building these light cruisers anyway, so it's not like we could start working on something new right now. All right, we finished some docks. We're at 20,000. How does that compete? 24,000, 24,000. So we got to keep going. We do want to, I mean, if we're a little bit behind the great powers, that's fine, but we do want to at least keep competitive with them. Who can we blame? Germany, Great Britain, France, Russia. We could get budget, but we really raise tension. So we'll go with France again. The budget's the main thing we want out of that. Yep, we'll make France a little bit annoyed. They're still friendly with the Great Britain, but it's, that's fairly low. That's only 5. And that gives us a nice little uh, advantage there on the monthly balance. And hopefully we can get that breakthrough for 4 centerline torpedoes, or 4 centerline turrets. Mozambique? No, we don't want to extend out to Africa just yet. We have a very small fleet compared to everyone else. We want to stick to our main 2 main areas here as much as we can. We might eventually push out into the South Pacific, but we're looking for expansions that take us further away from the great powers. So, like, if we're moving into the Indian Ocean, we got to do that when we're ready, or when like a really good opportunity presents itself. Like that's Mozambique, not worth it. Alrighty. Um, Italy is our ally, which is weird because we lose prestige for letting them do whatever they want. Whatever, I guess. And we are starting to get to the point where we're falling behind enough in the big ship development that there we go. Oil. Oh, we could make okay. So this is good. We just got oil turbines, and our scientists are close to understanding the 4 centerline turrets. Once that happens, so anti-submarine warfare. I never really care that much about anti-submarine warfare as far as the technology goes. We'll scrap these. We're trying to keep our submarine fleet a little bit small for now, until the reliability is higher at least. But anti-submarine stuff, it doesn't really do much for me. In fact, let's get rid of all of these. Well, not yet. Let's let these finish. Well, they're finishing now, so we can start saving money. We're not close to war with anyone. Get rid of those. So essentially we can mothball, we can permanently pay maintenance in order to gain a little bit of prestige. So do we pay like permanently mothball funds, which is probably, I don't know, like for a, what is it, Goshki? That's a Kashawara. I don't know, what would that be like? 20 per month forever to gain 1 prestige? Or do we just ignore it? No, it's not worth it. All right. Well, and now we need ships on foreign service. So we'll make use of our Asama 2s. And we'll send out one of our, send out 2 of them, I guess. There we go. I guess it helps to have extras because these are fitted for, are they fitted for colonial? I don't think I, hang on. Did I fit these for colonial duty? No, I didn't. All right, that's why. All right, we might need to design a whole new set of Corvettes next go around. All right, there we go. So we get our 4 centerline turrets. We're going to rebuild our OI class at some point because they are not performing to the standards that we hoped they would. So we have a whole wave of these things getting finished up. We need to, we could build 20,000 ton battleships essentially. So let's see what we can do with that. So these will be dreadnoughts. We're going to go up to 19,000 because we already see we have some problems here. Low freeboard, short range, cramped accommodations. And that's because we're going to clear all the turrets. We're going to go with forward superimposed, aft, and aft superimposed. We're going to make these doubles. And we'll go with 12 inches, because why wouldn't we? Get rid of the torpedoes. Now this is fast. I mean, do we just go up to 20,000 tons and keep our 19 speed? That seems like it might. Hang on, we can do oil. That doesn't change a whole lot, does it? We save like 30 tons by doing that. Huh. Okay, well, that's worse than expected. So it gives us 193 tons free to play around with. No, we can't go any faster. Can we? I don't think we have triple turrets. Yeah, we don't have triple turrets researched yet. We can put a couple more rounds of ammunition on here. We still have the 3 caliber. Oh, see, we're up to quality 1 now. We must have researched. We took the quality 0 that we got from Russia and improved on them. Or maybe we got quality 1. I can't remember at this point. We can even add 500 more tons. That would be our maximum displacement that our shipyards are able to build. And what could we do with another 500 tons? Could we add? We could add one more set of 6-inch guns. We could add one more round of ammo. No, we can't. Do we go down? Nah. I mean, yeah, we build the maximum size that we can. We should be able to build 3 of these at one time. We have good armor. The belt's 11. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. If we go down in the conning tower a little bit, what happens? We free up a little bit of tonnage, but there's not a whole lot we can do with that. We'd add like 5 more rounds for the main guns. I mean, if it's 11-inch belt, it has staying power. Like it can be in the fight for a while. So maybe having those 5 more rounds per gun is a good thing. The problem is I don't think we have the tonnage to upgrade to the next fire control. So we'll go back up to 11-inch conning tower. And that's really about all we can do. Yep. I mean, this is a pretty good ship. It's competitive, at least, with what the other nations are putting out there. And just having a handful of these things in our home territories, like in our waters, fighting, where we want to fight. Yeah, I mean, we should be okay. We have torpedo defensive 1. Yeah, it seems fine. I like the name Eki. So we will put these on the menu. And if we happen to unlock any new technologies between now and then, we could always rework the design real quick. The meddling, we'll just, we're not going to pick anyone in particular. We'll just say whatever. I wonder what they're serving for dinner. 13-inch guns. You know, it's tempting to try to do that, but we're already pushing the limits of our displacement here. Going up to 13 inches, we would have a lot. I mean, we'd have to go down to like 3 turrets. We don't want to risk giving away technology. All right, let's start getting these organized into divisions. Go with that. And we're going to be really short on light cruisers, which is, odd for us. We've always been heavy on we've always been heavy on light cruisers. Bougainville, that's probably a good one for us to grab. Let's give it a try. Okay. And we got those 900-ton light or destroyers now. Let's go with 3 of these. And we're still going to have some budget left over. So we've grabbed Bougainville. No trade protection required. Trying to build some fortifications here just to tide us over. We don't have much base capacity down here. But what that does is it gives us some reach. If we do happen to get into a war with someone, we can expand a little bit. And that gives us, we now have basically over 1,000 extra resources from possessions. And if we didn't have that, we'd be at 15. We'd have quite a bit less budget per month. Alrighty. So we could raise tensions with this decision here when it says one nation seeking improved relations due to tensions with the other nation. You're essentially saying, yes, we'll increase cooperation with Germany at the cost of lowering tensions with Germany, but you raise tensions with France. So we'll just avoid that for now. Yeah, we'll buy your 8-inch guns, improved 8-inch guns. We could slap those 8-inch guns on maybe some heavy cruisers, or we'll see. So there's not a whole lot we can build right now. We have another 600 or so income that's tied up here for the next 6 months. So when it comes back, we'll have about close to 1,000 monthly balance. But for now, we are tied up for the next essentially 3 years building these Ekis. Now the temptation is to go into a deficit to build these cruisers. But what we can do instead is start building some. Let's not do this one. I believe that's more Southeast Asia territory, and we have plenty of bases there as it is. So someone else can have it. Usually, when you don't see something, someone else will. Yeah, it's that right there. I mean, it's a nice. It's like a nice territory with a lot of ports, but there's no oil there right now. In the base, like the base size isn't exactly huge. There we go. The Hood class, 10, 11-inch guns. That's a dreadnought. So if we compare that to what we're building, ours only go 19 knots, so they are faster than us, but we outgun them. Like they're gonna have four turrets shooting per side, where we're gonna have 4 as well, but we have 12 inches, they have 11. They have 14 5-inch backups. We have probably less, but ours are 6-inch. They wasted space on torpedo tubes, and we have better armor. The problem with the reason why I don't like these wing mounts is because you're only getting until you get deck crossfire or whatever. You're only getting you know use out of one at a time, essentially. And I guess unless you're chasing, then it makes a little bit of a difference. But you're generally only getting use out of one at a time. So it feels like a little bit of a wasted territory, or wasted, not territory, wasted space on your deck. Okay, so let's uh let's see here. I felt like we were. Oh, we're building docks. So in 3 months, we're going to get back some money for building docks as well. So let's go ahead and design our new generation of destroyers. These should be greatly. Hang on, let's do this instead. I like to have my current models available to look at. So we'll do destroyers, 900 tons. Let's get rid of the cramped accommodations. Let's get rid of the speed so our engines last a little bit longer. Delete the forward wing turrets, or guns. And we get 3 centerline torpedo mounts now. So how big of an improvement is that? So not only are we going 4 knots faster, we're getting 1 less gun, but they're 4 inches instead of 3. And we're getting an extra torpedo. And we have no downsides, really. Okay, let's pick a name for this. We'll go with the Mutsuki. Okay. So this seems like a pretty good time to end it. We're getting close to the half-hour mark. Again, if you're hanging out with me, you don't know how much I appreciate it, but I really, really do. And please remember to sail safely.